Well, we may have lost the legendary reggae master Bob Marley almost 4 decades ago, but his legacy certainly lives on through his band, the Wailers. The original Wailers is about to tour Australia, where they'll perform the entire 1984 album Legend that still remains the best-selling reggae record of all time. Who can forget songs like One Love, No Woman, No Cry, Get Up, Stand Up, Buffalo Soldier, I Shot the Sheriff, or Get Up, Stand Up, just to name a few. The band is set to bring Aussie crowds an incredible experience, spreading Marley's message of love and unity. Al Anderson from the band The Wailers joins me now. Welcome, Al.
Hello. We're even more excited than you are because it's one of our favorite places. Australia and New Zealand, truly one of the most beautiful places ever.
So what is the message of Rasta?
Head creator. Rasta is the mind, the creator of the mind, body, and soul.
So does that translates back into his line, one love, one heart, let's get together and feel all right.
That's part of it. Yeah, that's part of the whole. It's a puzzle until you kind of know what it's going to look like, but you keep putting the pieces together because it just the more you see, the more you get.
Which country today appreciates reggae most, do you think?
Australia and New Zealand. I mean, in the late 70s, it was Australia and New Zealand and Europe had massive crowds. 100,000, 90,000 people in Australia, and New Zealand, 75, this type of thing. We were scared. It's like, wow, look at all these people. We really have to be our best behavior and our best musical ability, which Bob was all the time. And so he was a great leader, so we just followed, the path. Because in America, we were touring with Sly Stone and doing very small venues. And Marvin Gaye was pretty much at the he was on his journey at that time too. He wasn't going to be around longer. So we toured with Sly Stone and Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder and the Jacksons and stuff like that, which was big, but it wasn't 90,000 people like it was in your country. So Australia, New Zealand were really the big, and Europe, Italy, and these places like this, and were the big crowd catchers, and
Did that surprise you?
That was absolutely. America had too much going on musically, like funky music, folk music. You had psychedelic, rock and roll, blues. And so reggae didn't really have a place without certain elements. Production, the beat was very not familiar here. But most of the European countries and Australia and New Zealand didn't find any problems with finding where the beat was to get involved. America was, we played the Apollo Theater in New York City on 25th Street for 2 weeks. And we didn't have enormous crowds, although it was very full because it's not a big venue. But, we had enormous crowds and people like Stevie Wonder and Frankie Crocker, a big radio DJ who was doing all the Motown acts, decided to put us on with Motown artists so that black Americans could get more familiar with Bob's journey in his music and his culture. So, yeah, it's funny how it all, like I said, it's a puzzle, and, you kind of see what it's going to look like, but you don't really know until all the pieces are there. I don't want to say anything negative about the other Wailers. I don't want to work with them. I'm so happy doing what Al Anderson was told to do by Bob Marley. I spent the last 6 months as a band member with Bob. The others couldn't stay in Munich and Bayern where I was. He was in the hills in Bayern trying to get therapy to conquer his cancers. And he just told me, would you please stay with me? I've got a lot to show you and teach you before you go back to, I was living in Hamburg in Germany at the same time, so it was really easy for me to get from Hamburg to Munich to see him and be with him while he was going through the transition health-wise. So he told me that try to keep the band together. There's going to be very complicated. There's going to be a lot of trap doors. There's going to be a lot of rotten people that are money-minded. But he said, would you honor all the music that you and I made together in your future? And I gave him a promise that I would, with either the Wailers or world-class musicians that would carry on his dreams. And at the same time, he wanted me to have a singer that wouldn't imitate him and would be his own character and write his own songs as he sang the catalog that he and I shared. And wow. I'm going to honor that through my passing day.
That's awesome, Al. And that's what you're bringing for us here down under.
Absolutely, with love straight from Bob Marley and the Wailers and the original Wailers, Peter, Bob, and Bunny, Carly. I mean, we really want people to feel how it was, but without, trying to make it seem like it's a tribute or you're taking advantage of who's not here to represent. It's really the one love thing of here's the music, here's the culture, and we hope you understand that, hey, we write songs too. It's just not all about, imitating your past, but showing the people your past is where your future is from their teachings. They taught me the music. You know, I learned patois. I learned their behavior, you know, the respect of their philosophy. And we transcend that in the music that we play and that we'll be playing in Australia, New Zealand, and in the world today.
Al Anderson, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much for giving me this time to speak to you. Thank you.
All the best.